Hi and welcome back. Okay folks, so getting back to this project now, and I'm looking into fixing the display, which I suspect suffers from Wenger syndrome. As you could see previously, there is a bit of a struggle to remove this frame because there is no really any kind of fastener or tabs or anything below it, but the front frame was firmly, solidly stuck. And the reason for that wasn't even glue, but let me show you. There is a double-sided foam underneath, a strip here and a strip here. That I believe that's all that holds it together. What is the remedy for that is IPA. We spray carefully, let it drench a bit, dissolve the glue on the foam, and after that we work it a bit with thin knife. It did the trick on the bottom part. The bottom part is a bit loose now, so I'm not sure, maybe I just give it a bit more time on the upper side of the frame, but it helps to distribute the liquid a bit with scalpel. Well, that's not scalpel, that's an iFixit knife. This one is a, I guess you could use a feeler from gauge set, a thicker feeler like 0.2 or something. Would do the same if you don't have a suitable tool. So we'll let it work a bit and get back to it. Right, some minutes passed. Let us turn it. Try to cut through the foam. You can see where the original foam was. Let me remove the rests. Here we go. So this is the glass plate or polarization film, I guess, we need to lift next. Right, so my next step is getting rid of all of the film here. Picking up the edge with this guitar picker to remove the old polarizing foil, and then we'll have put a new one, brand new from China. You can see it, yeah, angle sensitive polarization as it should be. A bit dumb that it is not straight across the sheet. It's at some odd angle, so I have to, I guess, work out the right position for determining contrast that will work here. So let me see if gel pen would do it. Let me try to establish the not the most transparent, least untransparent position first. It's somewhere here, I think. Can't quite nail it. It feels like it now. Yeah, I would call it this. So I'll drop the baseline here. I think it should hold fine as long as I don't rub it away. And now I can continue to work on removing the film. That was kind of dumb. It's not just the film, I would say. The damage must be on the display itself or on the second set of polarization film that is below. That is below the LCD layer. I finally gave in to solder this module. A bit more convenient to show it now. The heat seal, so-called heat seal, on this one, I believe it's damaged right here, around this area and possibly around here. When I depress, you can see it going off. Not looking great, as it's, you see it here, also broken along the line across several contacts. For those who don't know what heat seal is, it's a kind of permanent attachment to the LCD displays. The LCD displays have a glass surface and metallization is hard, and the only way they use to make contacts on those is iridium oxide pads, which are nearly transparent, and gluing the carbon end of flex cable with special anisotropic glue, ensuring that electricity goes only along one axis towards the pad corresponding to each contact. And according to diagnostic sheet, I had a one line shot on this display, and it's probably something to do with this hot seal, which is relatively intact. This one, I believe it was fine, and I probably damaged it while probing to open the display. My dumb mistake. Well, things happen. How to repair it has to be one of the worst things out there to attempt to repair. I'm not sure there is even a record of someone doing it successfully on the internet, so situation is pretty grim. What I will do though, I will unglue, warm up with a heat gun and unfold this origami-like flex cable that goes up to this long end. That would allow me to open, remove the LCD assembly from the base, and then I will also be able to inspect the electronics underneath, which are probably fine. But anyway, on the other end, I will try to run maybe with a hot soldering iron at some 150, 140 centigrade in attempt to reseal it along the line. Chances are slim that it will work, even slimmer than it will work without any streaks or defects on the display afterwards. But that's the only thing I can basically do. Making this cable is out of question. You can order flex cable at several places, but none of them really does this whole anisotropic glue heat seal type connector. You can probably arrange it, but it's gonna be beyond economic repair for this. And the plan B would be finding a unit with intact display, maybe damaged otherwise, but you can see display on this is pretty bad, and as you've seen, I removed the film before. That means that the damage is probably on the reflective coat underneath it, which I will also remove and replace if I get around to it. But right now heat seal is the biggest problem, so we'll have a look how far we can get there. Alright, so tricky part here is to remove all the tape and adhesives around the cable and PCB assembly. The easiest way to do that is by using a heat gun. It is important to not overcook it, as it can well melt the actual pretty thin cable, but you really have to go by a whiff of a smell of old stale glue coming up, warming up. When you start sense the smell, it's time to stop and pull back a bit on the plastic. These two plastic parts, as you see, were removed. I would need to find some different material if I ever assemble it back, which is unclear at this point whether this whole thing gonna work. So let's see. Here you can see I unmounted, removed the tape, and starting to unfold the assembly. This is the vertical rows. This origami-like piece is horizontal rows. It's the horizontal where the problem was initially, aside of the blob that is on the screen. Thing is, we do now, we need to remove display from this backend, which probably, it's not really held by this tape, but it's probably held by some sort of adhesive. You know, like most people who do repair, I hate adhesives for a good reason. But this is unfortunate reality of this all super compact at the time devices. Right, so I use some IPA and this picket knife for clearing up a strip of adhesive that was apparently under there. So I can try unfolding it gently. I have to remember that it has, yeah, it has completely been removed now. I think we can pull out this wire as well. Small piece of thin electric tape, like this, and it goes. Piezo assembly. This was the spot with the glue. I'll be sure to reapply something other there. So this is how the piece is held together. Can well then scrape it, remaining glue afterwards. Let it dry up a bit. And have two challenges now. One is to get under the metal shield, which is undoubtedly being held by another set of adhesive. Maybe I would need to warm it up somewhat. These are display controllers, row and column. This, however, has no indication of some sort of attachment there. So what I'm doing now, I applied some APA under it, gave it a few minutes to work, and it seems to become workable with this shim knife. You can see the knife under the LCD backend, so we got all the way out there. Have to be super careful now with this seam on the other side. Yeah, there is a layer of adhesive underneath. Let me do a reveal angle. See, there were two strips of adhesive that held it all. Ta-da! The backing is gone. I unfortunately lost this one as well. It was really loosely held. So the situation didn't become better, to say least. Well, the plan is still to try to reattach the same way it was, using the heat, in hopes that some residual adhesive will work, but it's a slim hope at this point. So okay, let's pull the back in anyway, see what exact kind of the damage we have on the display, just for reference in case anyone finds this video with a similar problem. And you can see on the foil there is a discoloration that is deposited via glue onto the LED panel. Let me give a drop, a dash or two of isopropanol. Isn't making it any worse at this point. Right. So this has to be scrubbed anyway. This whole layer of glue with the backing, and aluminium foil tape has to be reapplied. This is a common kind of material, easily bought in usual supplies for electronics. Yeah, you can see the seal is pretty bad here, and I guess the isopropanol doesn't make it better. Right, so just blow it out and let it dry, and it kind of stinks of photographic film here. So that's indeed was the side where it was all the damage, but as you can see, it's really troublesome to get here without damaging the hot seal. Yeah, this is something to go through. I'll try to scrub it, see how much material can be scrubbed, and we'll see if anything salvageable in this part is left at all. Right, as you can see, things didn't get better. The cable connection delaminated completely. After that, it really helped on the central part here, and attempts to clean it didn't help. Any slight movement just tore it apart. I think it wasn't recoverable with my original plan anyway, because as you see, it's completely stripped on the bottom part here. What could be done about it? I guess not that much. I'll try cutting the blank part of it, maybe clean up with a solvent the adherent part here. Need to think about it really, but I don't think you can really make a good contact with a new attempt here, and just hope that there is still some hot seal adhesive on this one that could be attaching to the panel. Chances are super slim. I give it like maybe a 10% shot that it attaches at all. You can see the polarization film after cleaning the aluminium deposit isn't in the greatest shape, so that would have to be changed on this side as well. So to whoever gets a unit with a similarly damaged display and considers to attempt a repair, well, you have to be super careful. I really don't think that on a now 3 or 4 decade old hardware full of adhesive and decaying foil, you can easily repair it unless you're really good, clearly better than me. Then your best shot is to keep it as it is for some more years, or find a replacement display unit, which could be hard. These units are not very common. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna replace film first, because this is a part of the work that requires some mechanical stress. I'll pull the old film on the back as well, apply new film front and back, apply new aluminium backing foil, and then I'll give it a shot with hot seal. So thank you, we'll see you next time.